As you can see, we are looking at some footage of the ice cream truck BPA provided to students last Friday.
That was some great ice cream. I'm Amara.
And I'm Susanna. We'll be right back after the intro.
Students in middle school makers class have been busy designing and constructing rockets over the last couple weeks. The rockets are made of 2-liter bottles and launched using pressurized air and water. After designing fins, a parachute, the rocket itself, and adding a payload, including some students that used raw eggs that were in plastic bags, some of the rockets flew several hundred feet in the air. Students then had time to iterate their design, make improvements, and repair damage before they launched again the next class.
That sounds so fun. Speaking of creativity, Amara, have you seen all the amazing art in the senior art show?
Yes, it livened up the commons. If you haven't seen it or you want to know more about it, here are some pieces by Jordy and Helton.
Hi, I'm Caleb Chang, and this is my art show. I've been doing ceramics for about 3 years now, and I just like the ability to be able to make whatever I want, whether that be through hand building or through the wheel. My art doesn't really follow a central theme or idea. I just made things that I thought were cool at the time. And yeah, any purchases are appreciated, but just being able to display them is good enough for me.
Ceramics has been a huge part of my time at Barstow, and I've had a great time making everything. I'm just super excited to share my work with everyone and hope that everyone enjoys it.
My name is Matthew Justice, and I am a ceramics senior artist. I incorporated a few pieces from previous years, but this year my goal was to create more modern and simplistic items, as well as have a personal aspect to them. I went with a simplistic theme, capturing a lot of simplistic colors in order to create unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. Ceramics has given me the opportunity to create 3D art that you could use in day-to-day activity. That is the reason, and that is the main reason why I like to do ceramics.
So for my art show, this year I'd spent the majority of the year online, and so I wasn't able to be in the ceramics room for a lot of the year. So I picked up mixed media, and I crocheted a lot of things, and basically that's kind of what the majority of my art show is crochet, because I kind of mastered it over the year, and I wanted to showcase some of that work.
Hi, I'm Drew Gilworth. I'm a senior artist, and I've been doing ceramics since 9th grade. I've loved every art class I've ever taken at Barstow, and I found that no matter what I'm making, it always brings me a lot of happiness. So over the past year, I haven't really thought of ceramics class as being a requirement, but I thought of it as an escape, and it's taught me to focus on one thing at a time and be a more patient person in general.
One of my favorite parts about the senior show is that they get to collect all of their work that they've been doing throughout the years, and I think it's really fun because even though they know that they've been doing the work this whole entire time, it's really interesting to actually see it all together in one space and have a presentation of your work. And that's something that I think is really unique to the senior art show, and the fact that they get to sell it and they get to create a website that has all of their pieces on it, and just to see it as a whole, and just to see that they can do this, and that, you know, people are actually interested in their work and that people want to buy it. And I think that's just a really cool feeling to have, and something that's really unique about the senior art show. This year, I think it's really great because we have a nice collection of both, you know, painting, drawing, photography, ceramics. There's a nice variety of different students up there in the gallery. And so I just suggest that people really check it out because it's really, really cool to see everybody's work, and they've done such a nice job and they've worked so hard on it.
My name is Matthew Justice, and I'm one of the senior artists this year. With photography, I've had an opportunity to create the rarities I see and turn into art. I'm really into contemporary and minimalistic photography, highlighting the simplicity of shapes and colors, but in my show, I wanted to share my experiences. I've had a great opportunity over my high school career to travel to all 7 continents. These diverse landscapes inspire as well as challenge me to compose a compelling photo that is able to capture the unique environments and cultures around the world. I wanted to share my most memorable experiences in my photography with the demanding goal of trying to tell a story in a single photo.
I had never considered myself artistic until I discovered photography. As a child, I was not naturally gifted at drawing or painting, and consequently I wrote off all fine art. I began taking photos at age 10 and immediately connected with the medium. I find fulfillment in capturing moments and experiences with my camera. My work has always been focused on symmetry, specifically in the natural world and man-made structures. As I grew artistically, I discovered my love of portraiture. In my opinion, humans and the emotions they exhibit are the most captivating subjects. This exhibit is the product of 8 years with my camera. I hope you enjoy my work as much as I did creating it.
Hi, my name is Lauren Andrews, and I'm one of the seniors in the senior art show. I've been painting and drawing pretty much my whole life. When I was little, I learned to creatively express myself through crayon drawings, and then as I got older, I experimented with other mediums. Recently, I've really enjoyed playing around with watercolors because they're so different from anything else I've used in the past. And I also love the outdoors, so a lot of my inspiration comes from animals and landscapes and different nature scenes. And so I just want to thank you all, and I hope you enjoy looking through my artwork.
I never really thought about myself being an artist, except I found myself in an art class every year. I first started 2 art classes because my friends were in them, but I eventually realized I enjoyed making art. Art gave me a different way to express myself other than just writing essays like in other classes. I did not have to think when I made my art, I just painted or drew whatever popped into my mind. My artwork has come a long way since I first started taking art classes with Miss Ovitz in 6th grade. Miss Ovitz gave me the skills and confidence I needed to get my art to where it is today, and because of her, I do see myself as an artist.
Ever since I was old enough to hold a pencil, drawing has been a part of my life. It is an outlet to create any story or dream any idea into reality. When I draw or paint, I try to think of a narrative or image that inspires me. I then use charcoal, colored pencils, or acrylics to bring them to life. I make art because it allows me to escape reality, to tell a story or make a character. In a drawing, I am able to control every aspect of the bigger picture in order to create something magical. Art has brought a sense of freedom and independence to my life, and I hope that comes across in my senior show. Hope you enjoy.
My name is Zoe Anderson, and I am a senior artist of 2021. I am a drawing and painting student who deals mostly with acrylics, pastels, and charcoals. When I create a piece, it never has any real rhyme or reason to its creation process. I always just want to paint or draw the first thing that comes to my mind in hopes of capturing it for everyone else to see. Be it a bright neon bird with all the wrong colors, or 2 dragons duking it out on a cliff too far up for anyone to properly comprehend. To put it quite simply, my work is just a bunch of images created from my brain, and none of it really has much meaning to it. But I think they came out cool, so I wanted to share them with you.
My show is a display of my best work that I've shot during my senior year at Barstow. Taking photos gives me an excuse to get out of the house and spend some time with myself and my camera. Whether it's an overlook of downtown or a focused view down a dark hallway, these photos allow me to show people how I see the city and places I grew up in, which I hold close to me.
Thanks so much. I can't wait to see all of the art. You can check it out either in the comments or with the online link from Mrs. Hilvitz and Mrs. Lackey.
It is so cool to see all the years of hard work to assemble a show. Erin made a piece on Junior Brooke Dryden's art.
I started off a lot with traditional, so I'd use painting, just regular paint on canvases and stuff. But especially over quarantine, I kind of got more into digital, where I use kind of my iPad to draw. There are definitely a lot of features that are different. You know, you don't really have that feel of the paint on the paper or anything anymore, but it's nicer in the fact that you know that you can double tap and that erases the last thing you did, and it's really easy to kind of like trace over stuff and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. The way I kind of try to reach the most people on TikTok, I first start out with something that I'm interested in, because if I'm not interested in it, you know, I'm not gonna have a fun time. But so I kind of find like TV shows or book quotes or movies that I like, and I'll make stuff based off of that. And usually there are a lot of other people who kind of like the same stuff as I do and are also interested in that. I do sell like stickers on Redbubble, and I'll make money off of those as people can just go online and buy them. A lot of my money though does come from custom like commissions that I do for people. So oftentimes I've done a lot of like dog portraits, and I finished up a series for a vet clinic over in Lenexa, which was fun, and I did 2 of their dogs and a cat that they have up in their lobby right now. A lot of times, like when people are taking pictures of their pets, you know, they're not like expert photographers or anything. So I kind of have to go through and figure out what looks best. And then yeah, I start out with a sketch. I kind of lay out the parts that are gonna be lighter, which parts are gonna be darker, shadows and highlights and everything, and go from there. For me, mostly, it's kind of just a hobby. I'll do more commissions and stuff, but I think it's mostly something that I do kind of like to relax and unwind and kind of explore my creative outlet that I sometimes don't always have the opportunity to with some of the classes that I'm taking. It's not really like my main thing that I'm going all the way in on, but you know, just to have fun.
That was awesome. In other news, Dance Team is having auditions on Wednesday, May 12th and Friday, May 14th. You will learn a dance on Wednesday, and officially audition on Friday. Dance Team is super fun, and I recommend it for sure. Please contact Dawn Stelting for more info and to register.
Claire Reddick's new original work, Lady M, was performed in the Coterie Theater's Young Playwrights Festival 2021 on Sunday, May 2nd. Congrats for all of your hard work.
On Thursday, May 13th, Barstow will be holding Tree Day. Senior lifers and preschoolers will be participating. Regular class schedule will occur for the rest of the student body. BTVN will be live streaming the event if you would like to watch.
Senior faculty coffee will be held on Friday, May 7th at 8 to 8:45 a.m. And before we sign off, last night the kindergarten girls soccer team walked out with the varsity girls soccer team for their introductions. During halftime, the seniors were honored for their senior night. The team ended up winning the match 3-2. Goals were scored by Bella Katusk, Sydney Zinkus, and Zoe Moore scored the game-winning goal. Congratulations.
Well, sadly, that looks like the end of today's show. I've been Susanna.
And I've been Amara. Have a wonderful last couple weeks, Barstow.